Hello and welcome to the League of Legends sneak peek for July 1st, where we cover the games that are going to take place tomorrow in the LCK, LPL, and LEC. I'm going to just go over each game briefly for you, and then you can make your predictions down below. You'll notice that the pinned comment are the standings right now. You get 1 point for getting the team right, and a bonus point for getting the series right if it's a 2-1 or a 2-1 or a 2-0 in these two regions. If you get all five of these games right, you get 3 bonus points. So, LCK, KT Rolster coming in at 1-3 against Damwon Kia, 10th in my power rankings. They were updated today. If you missed that video, it came out earlier today. Damwon are 2-2, coming off of a loss to T1, and KT coming off of a loss to Sandbox. Last time these two teams played was Week 5, Day 5, where Damwon would come out ahead 2-1. Kellen was 2-1 and 18 in that series, so the support was their best performing player, at least KDA wise. But I'm more interested in if Rascal versus Showmaker, the two players that are definitely in a good spot in their matchup. I would like to think Rascal versus Nuguri is going to be very interesting. The way Nuguri is playing, I would kind of lean towards Rascal. And Showmaker versus Fate is going to be interesting as well. And I think that, not Fate, God, that's Kwangdong Freak, sorry. Arya, well, Vikla is back, but Arya, it'll be interesting to see if Showmaker can take advantage of Arya in mid. Next is T1 versus DRX. T1 7th, DRX 15th. T1 coming off of a loss to the Freaks 2-1. DRX lost to Sandbox 2-1, both their first losses of the split, obviously. T1 in Week 9, Day 5, won 2-0 over DRX. Faker going 12-0-11 over Zika. I'm interested to see Gumayusi versus Deft and Bot. Obviously, DRX, I believe their solo lanes are on struggle street. Kingin is definitely better than Zika, but Zika is the 5th best player on the team, and that isn't up for debate, in my opinion. So Deft has to carry, and Guma. I mean, let's see if Guma can show up. Guma has not really taken over games, in my opinion, so far this split. Keria has been interesting in bot, but I feel like Guma's kind of continued that dry spell we saw at MSI where he was struggling. LPL EDG versus Thunder Talk. EDG 5th, Thunder Talk 16th. EDG 4-1, Thunder Talk 1-3. Thunder Talk have had a tough schedule coming off of a loss to JDG 2-0. BLG beat EDG 2-1 in their last match. No, why am I all over the place? Too much going on at one time. EDG beat BLG 2-1. The last time they played was Week 1, Day 6, so very early in spring. We're talking February, maybe even January. EDG won 2-0. Mako went 1-0-28 on the Thresh. They crushed Thunder Talk, but that is not your father's Thunder Talk that's on the Rift tomorrow. We have Zhao Zhang and Bechuan in top and jungle, which were not there against EDG in spring. Zhao Zhang actually played for EDG previously. So honestly, I debated on putting Flandre versus Zhao Zhang in top lane as an interesting matchup, just based on that alone. But I feel like when it comes to wins and losses, it's JJ versus Bechuan. Bechuan's going to be on there almost every time. I believe that Thunder Talk live and die by him, and he's been doing very well thus far with them, as well as with FPX in spring. The tough sledding continues for Thunder Talk. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost this game or in series, but they're playing good League of Legends, and the stats indicate that. Anyone's Legend versus Victory 5. Anyone's Legend 22nd, Victory 5 first. Victory 5 continue to play Dream in mid, hence Dream down here. Anyone's Legend beat IG 2-1 in their last matchup. Victory 5 beat Team Wii 2-0. Week 8, Day 8 was the last time they played. Victory 5 going 2-0. Photic 19-5-19 in those two games. In my opinion, it comes down to Forge and Dream. Forge is carrying Anyone's Legend on his back thus far this split. I think this meta really fits him, as I cited in my power rankings. Where Dream has not looked out of place. He's done very well in mid. So we're going to see if Forge can take advantage of Dream or not, or if Dream can continue to carry the mid lane, hold it down for Victory 5 in Rookie's absence. The LEC, first matchup, 2 1-4 teams, Misfits and BDS. Misfits coming off of a win against SK. BDS coming off of a long, grueling loss to Fnatic. BDS continue to get out to early leads and honestly, they could be 4-1 and I wouldn't be surprised. The stats say they're good, and they have been good. You just watch them play. They get out to early leads and just can't close it out. Syncroft is like 1v9 every game. The last time they played was week 5, day 1. Misfits won. Neon went 9-2-7 on a Jinx, I believe, in that matchup. In my opinion, it's Schlatan versus Syncroft. If Schlatan can get Syncroft behind, BDS has no chance. But if BDS gets ahead, Syncroft is the guy doing it for them. I mean, Urdate and Bot has been very good. Like I've said before, Crownie may be banned right now, but I still believe they should have Crownie and not Xmatty with them. But nevertheless, Urdate's been really good. And I think that he could definitely take advantage of Mursa. If that's another matchup I'm going to want to see. Two young players with little experience. Vitality versus SK. Vitality 2-3, SK 1-4. SK coming off that loss to Misfits. Vitality lost to G2. Last time they played was week 7, day 1. Vitality won. Alphari was 4-1-4 on a Gangplank, I believe. And in my opinion, it all comes down to Alphari anyways. If Alphari, Gen X, in top lane for SK is the carry. In my opinion, Gilius is purely not a carry jungler by no means. Certus has been good at times, but I think Perks can handle him easily. And as far as bot lane's concerned, I'm not... Treats is really good, but I think Jezu leaves a lot to be desired. So it's Gen X against Alphari. And if Gen X can't carry, Alphari is the reason why. Rogue versus XL. XL 11th, 4-1. Rogue 3-2. Rogue finally righting the ship. Beat Astralis last week. Mad Lions lost to XL. Last time they played was week 7, day 2. Rogue winning. Trimby going 3-1-11 on Rakan. It's Trimby versus Mickey X. Mickey is all over the place, and he's making things happen for XL, and that's a big reason why they're winning. Marcoon also making things happen. Patrick has been playing a lot better than even I thought he would be playing at this point. Trimby, I think Trimby's kind of been an afterthought this split. This would be a big moment for him to be able to keep Mickey under control. If Mickey goes out, maybe he punishes Patrick. We'll see. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. Mid lane, Larson versus Nuke Duck's kind of interesting. Malring versus Marcoon's interesting. Both of them ganking junglers. But I think it comes down to Trimby versus Mickey X affecting the Rift and the bot lane. Fnatic versus Astralis. Fnatic 19th, Astralis 25th. Fnatic beat BDS. Astralis lost to Rogue. Week 6, day 1 was the last time they played when Astralis would upset Fnatic at the time. Kabe 6-1-9. Kabe has definitely been one of, if not the best player for Astralis thus far this split. I think Xerxes also played very well. So it's going to come down to upset versus Kabe. Who wins? Who carries harder? Upset, probably the best AD carry in the LEC. But, kind of been coin flip thus far this split. Not the same guy he was in spring. I'm kind of curious how many deaths he has. Because I think in spring he had I forget the number, but he broke the record for lowest amount of deaths at the AD carry position. So I'm curious how close he is to it already, because he has not been the same player. Mad Lions versus G2 to finish out our Friday. Both Mad Lions 3-2, 16th place. G2 10th, 4-1. Both coming off of big games where Mad Lions would lose to XL and G2 would beat Vitality. Week 5, day 1 was the last time they played. G2 winning. Caps 4-0-6 on an Orianna. I am watching Kaiser versus Targamas. In my opinion, Mad Lions' best player is actually Kaiser. And it's kind of similar to how I feel right now about Trimby. Kaiser really hasn't done as much as I would have liked recently. I feel like he should be doing more. Definitely affecting the Rift. I think Niski's doing that for them, but I think I think Kaiser needs to do more of that. And Targamas has been impressive since MSI to me. I want to see how he does, how he matches up against Kaiser, because we have two young 80 carries down there in Flackid and Unforgiven, and we'll see how that bot lane matchup goes. So predict down below who you think is going to win. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content, and thank you for watching.